You wake up, and immediately the pressure starts. The emails, the professional obligations, the daily anxieties, a constant barrage of responsibilities that leaves you mentally exhausted before you even get out of bed. To understand this exhaustion, the text offers a specific analogy. Human beings are operating like spiders, caught within massive, inescapable webs that we spun ourselves. This state of entanglement is called body consciousness. It occurs when we identify entirely with our physical forms, our job titles, and our worldly relationships, mistaking the web for the totality of our existence. Living purely in this physical dimension carries a steep hidden cost. As we navigate the web, the soul accumulates rust, layers of heavy karmic baggage and deep spiritual friction. This buildup of spiritual friction is what the text identifies as the true source of persistent fatigue, suggesting that a life focused entirely on the physical is ultimately unsustainable. Breaking out of this web requires intense internal force. Simply sitting in quiet peace or relying on physical devotion, like counting beads or reading texts, does not generate the friction needed to snap these threads. This degradation spans a massive 5,000-year cosmological cycle, moving through a steady decline in spiritual purity. We are currently at the absolute bottom of that graph. The text defines this present moment as the Iron Age, or Kali Yuga, the peak of global spiritual darkness. Because the cycle has reached its lowest point, minor behavioral shifts are ineffective. At this stage, a radical, non-physical intervention is required. The escape begins with a psychological pivot, achieving the ashariri, or bodiless state. You have to mentally step completely outside the physical web. Achieving this requires a shift in perspective. You adopt the mindset that if I die, the world dies for me, deliberately severing the mental tethers to your physical identity and obligations. Stripped of that worldly weight, you initiate the journey of remembrance. This is a direct, active intellectual connection with the Supreme Father, completely devoid of any physical rituals or objects. This unbroken intellectual focus acts as a powerful abrasive. It generates the friction required to actively burn the accumulated rust straight off the soul. This is not passive relaxation. It is a rigorous, deliberate process of active spiritual detoxification. You might assume a practice this intense requires isolating yourself in a remote cave or abandoning your worldly duties entirely. The text offers a different model, the Gupt Sena, or secret army. These are practitioners who wage this fierce internal battle while remaining entirely embedded within society. They maintain this intellectual connection in practical scenarios, while typing at a desk, sitting in meetings, or eating a meal. True spiritual power reveals a paradox. It is the ability to be physically present in the chaos of daily life while remaining intellectually untouchable. So what is the actual experiential result when the web is broken and the rust is finally cleared? The intellect stops wandering. You transition internally back to the purity of the Golden Age, or Satyug, giving way to a state of super-sensuous joy. This internal cleansing strips away the decay of previous cycles, restoring the soul to a state of absolute original sovereignty and divine purity. This internal architectural shift is impossible to hide. It manifests as a physical presence and a face that literally shines with unshakable happiness. You evolve from a trapped victim of the web into an immovable spiritual lighthouse. By holding that unshakable state, you naturally guide others out of their own webs, doing so through silent presence rather than force. The behavioral byproducts of this state are sweetness, deep humility, and the ability to absorb external negativity and convert it directly into positive action. Mastering this journey replaces deep exhaustion with true spiritual sovereignty, naturally lighting the way for the surrounding world.